We can just
Much better. No more echo.
chat. Hey, grandson.
Hello.
This is very exciting for me. I get to talk to you.
So now you don't have to repeat
Yes.
it all. Joe, you're in charge of this thing. Once you start with an introduction of why we're doing this, and
Okay.
then go ahead and go to your script.
Okay, so we're ready?
Yeah, but continue to tilt the camera back and forth between you as
So when,
Carole.
okay, it's uneven. Okay,
You might have to tilt the lid so your frame's okay in the.
I think we're okay.
Come this way a little bit. There we go.
Okay, good.
Perfect.
And the camera's right there, I guess, but I'll be looking down. Okay. My name is Joe Fry. I'm one of the duly elected
Trustee.
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 All right. Our other trustee is here, Dave Poma. We're here to record Mary Carole Hester and well, I'll be all right in a minute here. Jordan
Yes.
Wegner. It's about the Lois will. She made a will, and we're here to record their recollections. Today is July 6th, 2026. We're at 900 South Dora at Crossroads Christian Church. The time is roughly 9:40. So we'll begin. First of all, I want to ask both of you that this is being recorded. Are you aware that we're recording these sessions?
Yes.
Yes.
And do I have permission to record the sessions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a series of questions that we've come up with, and I'd like you to answer those questions. And we'll just go back and forth. Carole, we'll start with you, and then we'll have Jordan respond also. First of all, please describe specifically why Lois Gray contacted you regarding her will.
Well, let me phrase it a little differently than that. One day, while Jordan and I were visiting Lois, were helping her organize and purge miscellaneous items to be sold or given to charity. They were of little monetary value, but she brought up the issue of her will just as we were sitting around talking. So it wasn't a specific call to work on a will. She brought up the issue of her will and that she needed to update it, but didn't necessarily want to go to an attorney. I told Lois that a handwritten holistic will is legally valid in California. Probate Code, Section 6111. She wanted to create a will quickly and privately and without involving legal professionals. And the law specifically addresses holographic wills and their validity and authenticity as a legitimate estate planning document. So Lois proceeded to write, while Jordan and I were doing work, in her entirety, as a testator, the will as well as an addendum in her handwriting entirely. Then she personally signed and dated her will as well as the addendum. She was clear-minded, and her will addresses clearly the things that she expressed that she wanted done after her death. Lois had the full mental capacity and understanding of the nature of her will and comprehended the impact of her decisions and that she expressed in the will. And there was not a negative thing about it, except she did have some things to say about her adopted son and why his amount was specific and small. But through it all, she was lucid and clear-headed and minded and knew exactly what she wanted.
Okay, thank you, Carole.
Did I take care of your first 10 questions?
Just about. Jordan, would you like to respond to that first question?
I concur on all the points that my grandma, Mary Carole Hester, has stated. We went to Lois's house early on a morning to help her move some stuff out of her house. I roped in because I was able to lift and carry things throughout the house. Lois was fine. She had no indications of any deteriorating mental state. She had no indications of any deteriorating physical state. She was as cognizant as anybody else would be in that situation. While we were working and going through her house, helping her move things, she brought up her will, same as my grandma had said. And can you guys still see me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Brought up her will, and I wasn't really party to the discussion much. I just was there to observe. And so she asked my grandma and I if we would witness it, and we said, sure, no problem. So we sat there and watched her write it and watched her sign it, and that was that.
Okay. Okay, second question. Had Lois discussed this with you previously, with the two of you talking about this for a period of time and developing it together?
Not really.
Okay.
No, this was a day one for me. This is my first time meeting her, or if not first, second time.
Okay. It says if so, okay, that would, if not, did the request come as a surprise to you? And if so, why?
Well, as I said, it wasn't a surprise because I'm the one that shared with her that if you want to get a new will and not have to go to an attorney, there is this alternative that is legal in California, and that is to handwrite your own will, a holographic will. So there was no planning.
Okay.
Given her age, this was not surprising at all. This is typically the age at which most people would be either writing or amending their wills. And so I don't think that there would have been anything out of the normal given the situation. There was no impending death. It was just an elderly woman who had decided it had been a while since she updated her will and wanted to do it in the comfort of her own home.
Amen, brother.
Okay, that leads to the next question. Did Lois have sudden physical health concerns that, to your knowledge, contributed to her developing this will?
She had no urgent health concerns at that time.
Okay.
Yeah. And to add to that point, this was sometime before her passing or even getting sick. So this was several years ago.
Okay. You've already covered this, but I'm just going to go down the list of questions. Number 3,
Sure.
did Lois seem to be in full possession of her mental faculties?
100%.
Yep. She was there. She told us what things she wanted to sell, how much she wanted to sell them for. She had stories for all of her items. There was no indication of any mental decline.
Okay. A follow-up question, did she display any impaired thinking or have any history of this to your knowledge?
None at all.
No.
Number 4, did Lois seem emotionally stable?
Yes.
Yes.
I say all of us, right?
Yeah, as much as possible.
Yes.
Did she display any seemingly oppressive or irrational emotional behavior related to the development of this will and addendum, or to have any history of this to your knowledge?
None at all.
No, not at all.
Number 5, did Lois specifically disinherit her adopted son, John Gray, except for a token of $10? Please relate the circumstances as best you can and how she arrived at that decision.
Well, I hate to say bad stuff about people. Okay, so she was very adamant. She was adamant about her adopted son and the $10 inheritance, but no more. She's expressed sorrow over their estrangement of many years. And that's all she wanted him to get. That was it. She was clear-minded about that. And that's why it's in there like that.
I concur with my grandma. I do not like to pry, so I did not ask any probing questions. She offered her wishes, and I said, okay, not my monkey, not my circus. And I said, you do as you wish. I will simply observe and sign. I asked nothing more.
Okay, this may seem redundant, but please relate any display of emotions on Lois's part that you observed in relationship to this difficult issue.
She was just firm. She didn't show, she showed no anger, no distress of any kind. She was just firm in her thought process and her decision making. And that's all we was witness it.
It's very, very conversational. I wouldn't say there was any explosion of emotions. There wasn't any any indications that this was driven by anything. This simply felt more than anything as an observational discussion. She wrote it and said, "This is why I'm doing this," and we said, "Okay." And there was no passion behind it. There was no frustration or anger. It was just a statement of fact, and that was that.
Okay. Okay, number 6. Lois named 3 beneficiaries: the Christian Broadcast Network, World Vision Incorporated, and Crossroads Christian Church. Did she name these on her own volition, or were there any others suggested by either you or other parties?
She did it all herself. That she was very clear-minded and clear in her directions of what she wanted.
Yeah, I'm unaware of what the 2 organizations that were listed before Crossroads even are. So I am unaware of the influence that had, and I am not an active member of any of the organizations, so I wouldn't have had any vested interest to begin with.
Okay. Did she assign the percentages of her estate to the 3 beneficiaries on her own volition, or were there any others suggested by either you or other parties?
Well, first
It
of
was
all,
all ver-
yeah,
Oh,
it was
go ahead.
all her. There were no other parties there. And she, again, had spent time in the thought process of getting to that point.
Yeah, this was all decided before we arrived, but to answer your question, no, there was no other influence that I was aware of, and there was no other parties present to influence at the time of signing either.
Okay. Number 7, did you feel that you exerted, do you feel that you exerted any undue influence on Lois's decisions in selecting beneficiaries or the amounts bequeathed to them?
We said
No.
nothing. No.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
All right. Number 8, are you aware of any other parties that may have unduly influenced Lois's decisions in these matters?
No.
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 Okay.
Again, she did the entire will and the addendum in her own handwriting. There's nothing foreign or outside that. So the whole thing is in her handwriting. And I'm not remembering specifically why she did the addendum, but it was to be more specific, I think, for who gets what, because that's all it is.
Okay. Number 9, did you benefit in any personal way that is not named in the will and the addendum?
We get nothing, huh, Jordan?
No. No, I was not benefited nor named, nor my party or proxy to any of the parties listed.
I think we've already covered that this will was in Lois's own handwriting. That's affirmed by both of you.
Mhm, yes.
Yeah.
And is there any
The date.
other information of why Lois added the addendum?
If you'll hand me that black bag,
No, I have no additional
I'll give
information.
you the date.
Okay.
You should have the date down there.
Yeah, the date was 1/24/2023.
So 2023 is when we did
Yeah,
that.
2023.
She had
Mhm.
moved. And both of them were done at the same time.
Same time. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, to both of you, everything that you said, to your knowledge, is it correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any other questions? I don't have any.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope.
Present for this was Carole Hester and Jordan Wegner. The other, Dave Pullman is here, the other trustee, and my name is Joe Fry.
We add something else to it.
Yes.
You don't want to speak bad about anybody, but because John Gray is going to contest this.
All right, let me talk about that.
It would be beneficial to know Lois's thinking.
Yes. All right. Lois adopted a young boy many years ago, and his first name was John, Jon. And as he grew up, he made decisions she didn't agree with for behavior. He was in the armed services. I think he had had some substance abuse challenges as well. And she was adamant, absolutely adamant that he only get $10. And she was not privy, because she died before this was discovered. She was not privy to know that he had just a week or two before her death made a decision for God and to follow him and baptized. He lives in Southern California, and we had no way of contacting John after she died, and because she didn't have any current, or we couldn't find any current information, nor her sister, or anyone like that. So Jordan happened to be at our house on one of those wonderful rare visits and looked up within like 20 seconds on whatever source you use to find people, and found their names and addresses and phone numbers. And so that's how, at the time, the executrix, Laura Gerard, was able to contact John and the sister, and I think the sister has since died. But that's how he found out about Lois's death. He later came up from Southern California to the funeral home held her in cold storage. The church paid for that so that Lois would not decompose, so that he could go do his own private goodbyes. We felt like that was a gift that she would have approved of, but it was from the church to enable him to say his private goodbyes, which he did. And whatever he does after that, we're out of it. I know that Laura has withdrawn as the executrix. She has a lot of health issues, is going to have some surgeries, and so is unable to serve in this capacity. And so at the moment, to my knowledge, there is no executor or executrix for the will. So this video is being made and documented to make a documentary. I have health issues and I could die today. And so we wanted to put something down so that when these three entities have to go to court, you've got this going. And I don't know what else we could say. Jordan, do you have anything that?
Nope. All that I can say is that as far as the will stands, Lois was of sound mind and body, and her reasons are her own and none of my business. Regardless of her reasons, this will is still valid in the state of California, and I was there to witness it. So I have nothing more to add, and I don't think that this is something that is contestable.
Okay, because we added some information, is all your responses that you've made here today, to your best of your knowledge, are they truthful?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Jordan and Carole, thank you so much for your time. This concludes the interview. God bless you. Hope you both have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. For your knowledge of the program, Zoom will boil this down into a finished video.
Okay.
And I'm going to create a YouTube link so that it has a permanent access. And it's going to be what you recorded, I'm going to put on unedited. I'm not going to do any clipping on the front or back end. Yeah, so.
In case it goes tomorrow, we still on for 1 o'clock.
Mhm.
We.
Thanks, Carole.